I just got out of the theaters from witnessing Past Lives on the big screen, and I have some things that I want to talk about for this film, guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the review. Let's go. What's going on, you guys? The Demigod back on Demigod A24, bringing you another movie review for Past Lives, which is a brand new Korean film that just hit select theaters. So you're not going to find this at all your mainstream theaters. However, if you look at your art house theaters, you'll definitely see it there. I went and viewed this at my local art house theater, and this film is definitely an experience. So first things first, this film is directed by Celine, and I believe this is the very first film I've ever seen from this director. So how did she do? She did a very great job. Let's go ahead and start with the story. So, in Past Lives, Nora and Hae-sung, two deeply connected childhood friends, are wrested apart after Nora's family immigrates from South Korea. Decades later, they are reunited for one fateful week as they confront destiny, love, and the choices that make a life. And that right there is our story synopsis. Now, this film is an A24 film, one, and you know on this channel we love A24 films. But two, it's also a drama and a romance film, at least that's what it's listed as. But after witnessing this film and going through the entire movie, I wouldn't exactly put it in the romance category, because this is more of a friendship film where you watch two characters in a foreign country, that being South Korea, who are childhood friends and growing up together, are suddenly ripped apart from each other because, as it's stated there in the synopsis, one family moves away and migrates out of South Korea to America, causing them to not see each other for almost their entire lives, up until, you know, the point where they end up getting reconnected in the future. And throughout this film, you can totally feel that there's something between these two characters, that they long to be, you know, at least close to each other in some form of way, you know, whether that's a relationship or a friendship or whatever. And because their lives have taken them on completely different paths, they don't exactly know where to fit each other into each other's lives. Now, this makes for a very tense scenario where, when these two characters and these two people are communicating, there's clearly this unspoken thing between each other. However, they can't exactly ever mention it or act upon it because they've already spent too many years building up their own lives away from each other, to the point where, you know, Nora's character is already married and already has, you know, a husband who's been her husband for years and is a great husband. So you can't just, as you would expect going into this film, leave him for your past childhood lover, which this film does make fun of the fact that that would be a typical storyline. And honestly, when you're watching this film, that's where you assume that this is going to lead and going to go, but it doesn't. Just like its two characters, this film takes a completely different path than what you would expect, and it ends up resulting in this bittersweet ending where you can't help but feel that because you were watching a movie, this story was supposed to have a different ending, or the fairy tale ending, and it doesn't go that route, which made for this uncomfortable experience as the viewer. And I won't lie, I definitely felt some type of way after leaving this film. Our two leads in here do a fantastic job, by the way, but outside of the actors themselves and the story themselves, I do want to speak on the directing of this film, because it's fantastic. I love the way that this film was directed. Celine Song is a very patient filmmaker. She really takes her time when it comes to the movie of Past Lives. This film isn't in a rush whatsoever. You slowly watch these two, you know, go throughout the years and be pulled together and pulled apart from each other. And there's fantastic camera work here that I personally love and personally appeals to me, such as still frames. I love still frames inside movies. There's also, you know, slow panning shots when the camera does require some movement, and very steady camera work with great cinematography and great backdrops for our characters, and very patient filmmaking. And I won't lie, when it comes to the pace of this film, I did start to feel it towards the end of this movie, which is one of my only complaints with the film, is you do feel this runtime even though it happens to fall under a 2-hour film. So I do want to urge you to be patient with this film, because this is very patient filmmaking and a clear story that's trying to be told here. And I appreciated all of that. I love Celine Song's approach to making this movie. And with that being said, I think it's time we go ahead and drop the official rating for Past Lives. I'm going to go ahead and give this film a 8.5 out of 10. It gets the 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed my experience with this film. It takes you through, you know, so many different emotions and ideas in your head as to how you think their story should play out, but it goes in a completely different bittersweet direction, as I stated, and it's just an interesting experience at the cinemas. I definitely recommend you guys support this one at the box office if you could find it playing anywhere around you, because again, this is only at select theaters, so just keep all that in mind, guys. Those are my thoughts on this film. Let me know your thoughts on Past Lives down in the comment section down below. If you don't know what I do here on Demigod AT, do commentaries, reactions, and review to me, saying that in the right place, man. Hit subscribe, hit the like button. I drop multiple videos a week on this channel, so you can expect out of me. And if you don't already know, I am the Demigod, the chosen one here on Demigod ENT, and I'm out of this thing, man. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.